I've taken 2 months off, and there are only 26 days left until I go back to the company. My little assistant and I are on vacation in this small county. One day, my little assistant suddenly came up to me with his phone. James is trending. My heart skipped a beat. Bro, do you want to take a look? I instinctively pushed his arm aside. I don't want to. You look at it from over there. But he's praising you. Aren't you going to take a look? Lucas, if you keep this up, I'll get angry. You know exactly why I'm hiding here. Lucas sighed. That's exactly why I want you to see it. All you do these days is read books or zone out. I'm worried that if you keep this up, instead of getting over your lovesickness, you'll end up with a mental problem. Oliver, you might as well take the plunge and confess to James. If it works out, you two can be together. If not, maybe you'll get over him once and for all. I rolled my eyes. William is as straight as the lamppost at the door. How shameless do you think I am to go asking for trouble? You know how strong he is. When he pinned me down, I couldn't move at all. Saying this, I remembered some scenes from the drama again. He pressed me down on the table, held both my wrists with one hand, and used the other to unbutton my shirt. I shook my head vigorously. I can't think about it, not even a little bit. Feeling annoyed, I picked up a bottle of wine and started drinking. After finishing a bottle, I looked at Lucas, who was still engrossed in the gossip, and asked, "What did he say to praise me?" Lucas tried to push the phone towards me. I immediately closed my eyes. Don't let me see his face. If I see his face, all my efforts to get over him will be in vain. William's face is exactly my type. If he weren't a top-tier star, I think this drama was a scam tailored just for me. William decided on my role. He made me stand out among over 100 people and become the male lead. I'm just head over heels, and there's no saving myself. Lucas just turned up the volume. James, who was that really talented actor you mentioned just now? William's laughter came through. His name is Oliver. He's young, but he's really good at acting and isn't afraid to go all out. I really like him. My heart skipped a beat. Don't be tempted. Don't be tempted. The way he talks and his eyes. He seems affectionate to everyone. I mustn't fall for him. Otherwise, I'll be in deep trouble. Our drama should be airing soon. You guys can check it out. His acting skills are really good, and his body language is great too. The kid has a nice personality as well. Ha ha ha. It's obvious you really like him, James. William chuckled. Indeed, he plays my lover in the drama. You'll all fall for him then. I closed my eyes in disbelief. I can even picture the expression on his face when he chuckles. His lips slightly curved, his eyes shining brightly, as if they could suck you in. I remember on the day of the wrap-up, he had that same expression, holding my hand tightly and saying to me, "Oliver, keep in touch. Come play with me anytime." What did I say in reply then? I smiled with my eyes curved and said, "Sure, William." And the next day, I snapped my SIM card and locked my phone in a combination box and gave it to Lucas. I thought that 2 months of trying to get over him would be enough, but then came some bad news. That day, just as I'd newly got a phone card, Lucas told me the agent was looking for me. I took a taxi to the company. When I opened the door of the meeting room, I directly met William's gaze as he sat there. I was so startled that I choked on my saliva. "What's going on?" Amelia rushed over and patted me on the back. Took me about 3 minutes to recover. William just stared at me during those 3 minutes, without any expression. There was no smile on his face, nor any glint of amusement in his eyes. It was as if he was looking at a stranger. My heart ached, and I took a deep breath. Isn't this the result I wanted? Before, when he looked at me, his eyes were full of affection. Now that he no longer has that affection, isn't that what I wanted? "I heard you're back from your leave today, so I came to discuss with you. The director wants us two to go back for dubbing." I widened my eyes. "The director said your voice matches the character well and wants you to give it a try. If it works, you'll do the dubbing alone." After that, he said to Amelia, "Amelia, for the drama promotion later, we might need to cooperate. Let's communicate in a timely manner if there are any issues." Amelia glanced at me. "Sure, we'll definitely cooperate. You said you're quite busy, yet you came all the way here today." William let out a laugh. "Yeah, so busy, but unfortunately, A lot of efforts went in vain. Well, I'll be going then. Okay. Amelia had a smile on her face. Oliver, go and see James out. I stood up like a zombie, but William pressed my shoulder and pushed me back into the chair. No need. I can go down by myself. You guys go ahead. He patted me on the shoulder and then left. I stared blankly as he opened the door of the meeting room and walked out. Seems like he's already out of character. No wonder he's an award-winning actor. He's really something. I endured the pain in my heart and discussed the details with Amelia. When I got home in the evening, I inserted the SIM card into my phone. After logging into WeChat, I found there were no new messages. I threw the pillow out, cold-blooded and heartless. He seemed to like me so much during filming. It's hateful and despicable. But what makes me the angriest is that I just can't get a grip on myself. He's already fine, out of character successfully, while I'm still stuck in it. Especially when I think about having to go and dub the characters together in a while. I feel pain all over and just awful. Just as I was about to take a bath and go to bed, my WeChat dinged. William, I got the jersey you told me about last time. I'll bring it to your place tomorrow. Wait for me at home. My hand trembled, and the phone dropped to the ground. He's still so nice to me. How am I supposed to get over this? I gritted my teeth, picked up the phone and replied, no need. I'm going out early tomorrow. William, oh, then I'll bring it to you now. I gritted my teeth again. Well, I won't go out tomorrow then. I'll leave after you bring it. William, all right then, you just got back. You must be tired. Go to bed early. I threw the phone onto the bed, and then threw myself onto the bed too. Someone, please save me. I feel like I'm suffocating. I sent a message to my childhood friend, Benjamin. I tried to get over it, but I'm back, and I failed. Save me. 10 seconds later, Benjamin replied, could it be that you just fell for his character in the drama? You like the character and his personality in the show, right? You shouldn't be into the real him, should you? I was startled all of a sudden. He had a point. I logged onto the website, dug out the original book, and read it again. And then, I fell in love with the male lead all over again. But this time, I kept brainwashing myself that I loved the character in the book, the fictional one, not William. That's it. Early the next morning, William brought me the jersey. I asked a bunch of friends to find this. It was just mailed back to me from the States. After putting down the jersey and the breakfast, he looked up and ruffled my hair. I held back and didn't dodge. I had just rolled out of bed, and my hair was a mess. I kept repeating in my mind that I loved the male lead, not William. William glanced at his phone. I'm going to the airport right away. I'll be a bit busy these 2 days, but I'll contact you when I have time. If anything comes up, just send me a message. Got it. Such an early flight? He smiled. Otherwise, why would I have wanted to bring it to you last night? I have to catch a flight this morning and attend an event tonight. I'm going to get prepared. Remember? Send me a message, and I'll reply as soon as I get my hands on my phone. I lowered my head, held it in for a while, and then finally asked, you didn't send me any messages before. I didn't send you messages? He asked, puzzled. Let me see your phone. I instinctively handed him my phone. He habitually used his fingerprint to unlock it. The moment the fingerprint unlock was successful, both he and I were taken aback. He only froze for a split second, then continued to slide his finger and open WeChat. He's still at the top of my chat list. He clicked on it and took a few glances, then laughed out of anger. Oliver, you're something else. After handing the phone back to me, he pinched my earlobe hard. Don't turn off your phone. Don't ignore my calls. Don't disappear. Wait for my call tonight. Those 691 WeChat messages of mine died unjustly, and I've got to avenge them. I shuddered from his pinch. It was an action I'd gotten used to during acting, but at this moment, it made my ears turn bright red instantly. It must be because my ears are too sensitive and I wasn't prepared this time. So it's not my fault I couldn't control my expression. By the time I reacted to what he said later, he had already closed the door and left. 691 WeChat messages? He sent me WeChat messages during those days I was out of touch. I couldn't stop feeling excited. I pressed my lips tightly, trying not to let them curve up. Don't laugh. Mustn't laugh. I love the male lead, not William. I can't be happy. I dressed up handsomely and went out. Lucas even said I was glowing. I've been so depressed these 2 months that he couldn't stand it anymore and kept wanting to find me a therapist. I'm going to an audition this afternoon. so I thought I'd get a hairstyle and makeup in the morning to match the original work. When I got to the audition site, before I could say anything, a girl in a furry outfit bounced out. Wow, I'm seeing the real person. She raised her hand. Hello, Oliver. I'm Isabella, the original author. I'm also the author of the drama with you and William. I quickly reached out my hand and shook hers. Hello, Ms. Isabella. I didn't expect to see you at this audition. Yeah, I didn't go to the last audition. I was still in class at that time. Now that it's summer vacation, I can come and keep an eye on the casting. But luckily my brother was watching over it, so I felt at ease letting him do the casting. I'm really satisfied that he chose you. Hearing this information, I blurted out, your brother. Isabella nodded. Yeah, William, my real brother. I nodded. No wonder William had the right to decide on the candidates. Turned out to be a family affair. Isabella smiled happily, showing 2 cute dimples. You act really well. I'll also be there when you go for the voice over in a few days. I smiled and replied, my acting skills are far from William's. I still have a lot to learn. Isabella clicked her tongue in disdain. The male lead in my book was modeled after my brother. Whether it's the appearance or the personality described in it, it's exactly him. He doesn't even need to act. Just sitting there, he is the male lead himself. Don't praise him anymore. My mind went blank with a loud boom. William was the prototype, so I've been brainwashing myself that I like the character in the book, not William. In an instant, my face turned bright red. I covered my face and squatted down. Am I never going to escape William's grasp? Isabella looked at me squatting on the ground, full of confusion. Oliver, what are you doing? Looking at my red face and ears, she suddenly shouted, you're not having low blood sugar, are you? Can't catch your breath? With that, she fished out a piece of candy from her pocket, tore off the wrapper, and stuffed it directly into my mouth. I stood up with the candy in my mouth, cleared my throat. I'm okay now. She looked at me worriedly and said, which role do you want to audition for this time? The male supporting role, the female lead's childhood friend. Isabella patted her chest and said, thank goodness. If you were going for the lead role, you probably wouldn't have a chance. The lead character is really fit and there are a lot of fight scenes. Your scrawny body just wouldn't cut it. If you got hurt, my brother would come after me. She glanced at her watch and said, you go in first. I'm gonna go pick someone up. I gave a slight bow and said, okay, Ms. Isabella. After the audition, I casually found a chair to sit on and started scrolling through my phone. It seems that William is attending an awards ceremony. The topic is already trending on the hot search. I scrolled through his photos and videos bit by bit. He looked kind of fresh today. He didn't have much heavy makeup on, just seemed to have put on some base. I looked at his photos. He was propping his chin with his hand, and his fingers were forming different shapes, like a 6, then a 9, and then a 1. My face felt a bit hot again. Was he sending me some kind of signal? Before long, his secret signals hit the trending list. Soon after, I was informed that the role had been decided and I got the supporting male role. Considering my current status as a no-name actor, getting this role is already quite a big deal. I bet Isabella, the original author, must have helped. When I have time, I definitely have to invite her to dinner to thank her. At 10:30 in the evening, I was about to take a shower and go to bed, but suddenly, a video call popped up on my phone. I picked up the clothes I had taken off and was about to put them on, but then I hesitated. I threw the clothes back on the sofa and answered the video call. I really want to blow up that gossip account. What a load of crap. Now they're spreading rumors that we're getting married. He was taking off his makeup, so he wasn't looking at the screen. I propped my phone to the side so that only my upper body was in the frame and started brushing my teeth. Listen, if it weren't for hearing him stop abruptly, I looked at the screen. He had finished removing his makeup. His washed face was still dripping water, and his eyes were staring blankly at me. I pretended not to care. What are you spacing out for? Come on, say it. I'm gonna take a bath. Oh, I haven't deleted those WeChat messages. I've got all the records. Do you want me to send you screenshots one by one? Or should I come straight to you as soon as I fly back tomorrow? I rinsed my mouth. I'm gonna take a bath and go to sleep. I don't feel like looking at them tonight. Just come to my place directly when you fly back tomorrow. I lifted the phone a bit higher, looking at him on the screen. But I want to sleep in tomorrow. I don't feel like opening the door for you. Just unlock the door and come in yourself. The password is 950112. William in the camera squinted his eyes. Yeah, I set the password as his birthday. So what? After saying that, I turned on the showerhead. I'm gonna take a bath. Gotta hang up. William coughed a few times on the other side, then replied with an hum. I didn't expect that William caught the early morning flight and came back. He opened my door at 5:30 in the morning. I was sleeping soundly when I felt someone crawl into my bed. I mumbled, trying to open my eyes. William put his arms around me from behind. Shoo, go back to sleep. It's okay. It's a habit I developed during filming. I really like having William hold me while sleeping. I don't know why, but it makes me feel so secure. Maybe it's because he's so tall and his shoulders are so broad. Every time he holds me while sleeping, I feel completely wrapped up, and it's so comfortable. At 10 in the morning, I turned off my phone alarm on time. When I first woke up, I felt an unusual heaviness on me. Glancing at the arm around my waist, I immediately knew what was going on. I tried to turn over, but William stopped me in his sleep. He sleepily kissed me on the ear and mumbled, "Stop fooling around." I was so startled that I didn't dare to move an inch, terrified that any movement might lead to an awkward encounter. My hands shaking, I tried to pry William's hand off. Thankfully, as he was still asleep, he didn't have much strength. In less than 5 seconds, I managed to break free, but as soon as I inched away, he pulled me right back into his embrace. "What time is it?" His lazy voice sounded. 10 o'clock, I replied, swallowing hard. "If you're not busy, stay with me for a while longer. I'm exhausted. I just got back late last night." After saying that, he somehow nudged me and turned me over. He wrapped his arms around me tightly, and I was pulled right into his chest. Seeing that he was falling asleep again, and noticing the dark circles under his eyes, I decided to stay still. I rested my forehead on his pectoral muscle. Finding a comfortable position, I dozed off again. When I woke up again, I groggily opened my eyes and met William's gaze. I didn't know when he had woken up, but he had been staring at me all this time. I pushed him hard and got out of his embrace. "Your ears are so red," William said with a smile. Then he reached for his phone and held it in front of me. "Records don't lie. Take a look. If you don't log into WeChat for a long time, you won't receive messages from the other side. I checked yours. Haven't you logged in since the day of the wrap-up?" I picked up his phone and didn't respond. "What's your passcode?" I asked in a muffled voice. "I didn't delete your fingerprint." My hand trembled a bit, and I pressed my thumb on it. Sure enough, it unlocked. I entered WeChat and saw that I was set to be pinned. I clicked into the chat window and saw a dense record of WeChat messages, which ended 5 days before I came back from my self-imposed break. I kept scrolling up to the day of the wrap-up. Happy wrap-up. There were so many people just now that I didn't get a chance to tell you alone. Any activities planned recently? Are you very busy lately? What's wrong? Why aren't you replying? Why is your phone always off? Did you block me on your phone? Oliver, where did you go? I contacted your assistant. They said you were shooting on an island in isolation. Contact me when the isolation ends. After that, there were some rambling words, reporting his itinerary to me every day, and occasionally adding some reminiscences. Reading this, I felt a pang in my heart. So, I wasn't the only one who couldn't move on. Then, in the last message, he suddenly said, "Oliver, do you hate me for dragging you into this drama?" I murmured softly, "No, I don't." I heard William laugh. He pulled me closer. "You know, after I sent you that last message and you didn't reply, I was a mess. I was living in a blur those days, couldn't sleep at all. It was only when I heard you were coming back to the company. I used work as an excuse to come to your company to see you. You know, for a voice-over job, I didn't really need to come and talk to your company in person. The moment I saw you, I knew it wasn't just me who felt something. You'd lost so much weight. I was the one who fattened you up bit by bit on the set, and now you're so thin. It's infuriating, since you were my doing. I could tell from your expression that you were trying to get over me. You're pretty heartless. I was desperate then, ready to give up, but I still hadn't given you the jersey I got for you, and I also wanted to see you one last time, so I came to bring you the clothes. I knew you wouldn't message me on WeChat, so I deliberately told you to message me if you had something. I thought that was it, but then you said that sentence, and I felt like I was brought back to life. I thought back to that day and asked, what did I say? You said I hadn't messaged you. I remembered that sentence I'd held back for a long time but finally said, well, that doesn't prove anything, I said, being stubborn. William kissed me on the forehead. You little thing, who came up with you? You're so cute. When you said that, it meant you cared whether I contacted you or not. Thank goodness for that sentence, or we would have been over for real. Last night, while the gossip was trending on the hot search, I wanted to see your attitude, so I made a video call to you. I reached up and covered his mouth. You don't need to talk about this part. He grinned and kissed my palm. I yanked my hand away. I just didn't expect that you didn't care about that rumor at all, and you even gave me so many perks. Then when you told me the house password, I knew we were a thing. I turned around, not wanting to look at him, but my ears were getting redder and redder. Oliver, tell me, what kind of relationship are we in now? Covered my ears, not wanting to hear him talk. He kissed me on the ear. Come on, tell me, what's our relationship? I elbowed him in the stomach, then broke free from his hold, did a quick leap from the bed like a carp. Consider me your rival. We'll fight to the death. Tomorrow, it'll be my turn to be the best actor. I grabbed the quilt and covered him with it, then started pummeling him. Old guy, it's you who made me fall for you. It's only right to give you a beating. After getting beaten up, William got up and made me lunch, then grabbed his suitcase and rushed to catch a plane. Only then did I know that he had another awards ceremony to attend. He should have flown there directly last night. He made a video call to tell me about this, that he'd be back a few days later. But then, I gave him a shock when he answered the call. He just couldn't hold back and wanted to see me, so he took a chartered flight back. Before he left, he was still pressing me to say what our relationship was. I stubbornly refused to admit it and finally shouted that we were friends. He got so angry that he pinned me down on the table and kissed me for 10 minutes. Finally, realizing he was running out of time, he let me go. I'll deal with you when I get back, you little rascal. With that, he lifted the hem of my shirt and planted a hard kiss on my waist. I stared at the red mark on my waist, my eyes welling up. I kicked and shoved him out the door. I took a look in the mirror. My skin was so fair that marks showed up easily. 10 minutes had passed. When I checked the bite mark again, it had faded, leaving only a red ring. It was I took a photo of the bite mark on my waist and sent it to William. I texted, look at what you've done. It's all red. William replied, for God's sake, don't tempt me. I tossed my phone onto the nearby sofa. I've been seen through. The day William came back from his business trip, he picked me up to go for a voice acting audition. After I finished the audition, everyone was really satisfied, saying that my voice fit the character well. However, there was a problem on William's end. Due to a time conflict with other work, he couldn't manage the voice acting job. Isabella gritted her teeth and said, well, we'll go with our original plan and hire voice actors. Oliver can do his own voice. On the way home, William noticed I was in a low mood. He put his arm around me and asked what was wrong. It's nothing much. I just feel a bit regretful that it won't be your voice. How should I put it? It just felt a bit imperfect. If he could do the voice acting himself, it would definitely be really meaningful. After all, this is our first drama, and it might be the last one too. Of course, it's also the work that brought us together. He didn't say anything, just kissed my hair. But don't worry, I'm definitely up for it. I'll do my best and won't let you down. Especially since Isabella called me brother-in-law today. So, I definitely can't act like a loser in front of my sister-in-law. After all, a man should not embarrass his wife. I didn't realize it when I was on the set before, but now that I'm living with William, I found out he's really busy. It's already good if I can see him for 10 days in a month, and that's only when he squeezes out the time. And I basically don't have much to do. I just go to do voice-overs every day. Besides, the drama we're shooting is short, so even the voice-over work can be finished quickly. After I've completed all the voice-overs, William happens to come back by plane. I go to pick him up at the airport. Seeing the fans waiting to meet him at the airport, I find it novel and go over to join them. but I'm wearing a hat and a mask, dressed like a trendy guy. I'm kind of handsome in my own way, although I'm still a nobody, since I was praised and got on the hot search last time. Many people have searched for my photos and at least know what I look like. I've always heard that William's fans are really well behaved and orderly. Every time, William doesn't need to use the VIP passage, which saves a lot of money. I'm really kind of curious. When William's fans saw me come over, they silently squeezed to the side and made room for me. Looking at them huddled together, I thought it was a bit funny and said, "I'm also a fan of William. I'm here to pick him up." The girl closest to me patted her chest and said, "Handsome guy, you scared me to death. I have a phobia of trendy guys. You're so trendy that I'm a bit scared. When we say we like handsome guys, it's just talk. By the way, you should have said you're a fan of James earlier. Here, take this sign. You're tall, so you hold it." I took the sign and held it in front of my chest. "Handsome guy, let me take a photo of you. I've never seen a fan like you before." I smiled with my eyes curved and let her take a photo. "When James comes later, just hold the sign up as high as you can. You can amaze James with your handsomeness." Just as she was talking, I heard someone shout. I looked up and sure enough, saw William coming out. The girl slapped my arm and said, "Hold it up." I quickly held the sign above my head. Being 6 feet 185 centimeters tall, when I held the sign up like that, it was really high up. William spotted it right away. He turned his head, and when he saw me, he was a bit startled. Then he couldn't hold back and burst out laughing. The girl fan beside me was screaming, "I told you. James saw you. He saw you. And he's laughing." William, while walking, pointed towards the exit of the parking lot. I handed the sign back and said with a smile, "Well, I'm gonna go now. See you next time." After saying goodbye to the fan, William came to the parking lot and found me. I was leaning back against the seat, eyes closed, taking a rest. He just opened the door of the driver's seat directly. I was startled. When I saw it was him, I leaned back against the seat again. He didn't say anything, and neither did I, but the next moment, he suddenly leaned down and kissed me on the lips. However, since we were both wearing masks, it was kind of a new experience to kiss through 2 layers of fabric. "Miss me?" I shook my head. "Nope." He reached out and pressed my mask. "You're so stubborn." As he said that, he pushed his finger into my mouth through the mask. I looked at him a bit confused and gently bit his finger. After we got home, William went to catch up on some sleep first. It seemed he was really exhausted these days. He even looked a few years older. By the time he woke up again, it was already 6 p.m. I called him to get up for dinner, but he just yanked me onto the bed. "What are you doing?" I kicked my foot against his shoulder to stop him from getting any closer. "Just give me a hug." Listening to the classic line in the drama, I pushed even harder with my foot. In the drama, every time he said that, it was the start of a passionate kiss. I shook my head. "No hugs." He thought for a moment and then said, "Then a kiss." Well, he didn't even bother to pretend anymore. Seeing that I was dead set, he gave up, rolled over and lay beside me, pulling me into his arms. "It's been so long. Did you miss me?" I snorted. "No, I'm not gonna admit that I miss him. He's been on the hot search several times in the past couple of days, and every single time it's about some gossip. Man, being famous really invites trouble. But I missed you like crazy. Every night I had to sleep all alone in the cold. It was so miserable." I nudged his chest with my head. "Get up and eat first. The food will get cold soon. Then say you missed me." "Fine, I missed you." Happy. Who knew he'd be so pushy? "How did you miss me?" As if I'd lose in a contest of shamelessness. I leaned close to his ear and said something. William's eyes narrowed, and he immediately kissed me. After taking a shower and having the cold food, he said he had work to do and then went out again. Just how busy he was really became tangible to me. It wasn't until well past midnight that he came back. The first day, I waited for him to return. By the second day, I just couldn't wait anymore. I was way too sleepy. For 2 whole weeks straight, I thought he'd worn himself thin from all the late night work. I forced him to step on the scale, and he'd lost 8 pounds. You can't keep burning the midnight oil like this. You only sleep 2 or 3 hours a day. Is that even sustainable? Your body won't be able to take it. He hugged me and chuckled. It's okay. I finished the night work. I don't have to go out at night anymore. From now on, I'll stay home and sleep with you, okay? I half believed him. It wasn't until the afternoon when he didn't go out that I truly believed he'd finished his work. Turns out that day, the two of us were having steak and drinking red wine at home. We might have had a bit too much to drink, and then we spent a few wild hours together. When I woke up the next morning, I felt like my soul had left my body. Geez, was it really that complicated and exhausting? William made breakfast and brought it in for me. I made some porridge. Have some. I lay face down on the pillow, feeling completely drained. Finally, I said, you know what? Maybe you should go out and work at night. It's better if you exhaust yourself than me. When the show aired, as I watched the screen and listened to William's voice in my headphones, I suddenly felt like crying. So those nights when William went out to work, he was actually doing voice over work. Seeing me on the verge of crying, he put his arm around me and made me sit on his lap. What, are you this touched? I put my arms around his neck and didn't say a word. Let me see. Are you really crying? I rubbed my tears all over his pajamas. You're such a jerk. Forcing people to work overtime at night. They must hate you to death, right? William grinned. I paid out of my own pocket and gave them 5 times the salary. After the voice over work, they even asked me if they could do this kind of job again in the future. Well, money really can make the mare go. The first episode aired and the drama became an instant hit. This was something I never expected. Although William endorsed it, this drama was in a niche genre and had a bit of a bold content. I thought it would just be popular in a small circle, but I never thought it would become a huge hit. I was running around the room like a headless chicken every day, completely at a loss about what to do. Later, my agent and assistant started running around with me, and then the boss of my company joined us too. Originally, our goal was for me to break into the 4th tier from the 18th tier through this drama, and that would be enough. But I never thought it would turn out like this. Just as we were all looking at each other with teary eyes, William showed up. He placed the project plans one by one in front of all of us. Now, let's determine the work content and short-term goals for the future. The people in our company, like kindergarten kids, each held a project plan and listened to William's agent explain to us. It was only when I got home at night that I found out William's agency was his family's business. So after learning that things were in a mess on my side, he directly asked the company to come up with a plan and brought it over. His agent told him that there was no need to take care of me so much. He said, "That's the future boss lady." His agent said he felt like the sky was falling at that moment. But then he thought, well, if the sky falls, the tall guys will bear the brunt. But when he looked down, he found that William, who was supposed to be the tall guy holding up the sky, had crouched down. I wrapped my arms around his neck and wouldn't let go. "Why are you so nice?" I said. William gave me a little bite on the face. "I'm so good to you. How are you going to repay me? I'll marry you as a reward, honey," I whispered. To this day, I'm really grateful to myself for going to the audition even though I was sick that day. The first time I saw William, I stared at him and said to myself, he's definitely gonna be mine. And then, I fell right into William's arms.